Today I will discuss my answer for the subject of web services. For the question number one, discuss the historical evolution of web services, tracing their development from early protocols like XML RPC to modern standards like SOAP and REST. How has this evolution influenced the current landscape of software development and interoperability? For the answers, in terms of the historical evolution of web services, according to the Java Web Services of and Running Second Edition by Martin, before the web era, distributed computing was dominated by RPC or Remote Procedure Call System, such as the Sun RPC and DCE/RPC, and object middleware systems such as Corba, DCOM, and Java RMI. As the web HTTP matured, developers looked for a simple language agnostic way to invoke remote procedures across heterogeneous systems. In 1998, Dave Wiener, Userland, and Microsoft introduced XML-RPC, a protocol that encodes procedures, calls, method name, and parameters in XML and transport them over the HTTP. XML-RPC was the lightweight relative to Corba or DCOM. It is a simpler syntax, reuse of HTTP as transport, and wider interoperability. From the XML-RPC to SOAP, XML-RPC had limitations in expressiveness, extensible, error handling, and standardization, especially in enterprise contexts. SOAP, or the Simple Access Simple Object Access Protocol, evolved from XML RPC ideas. Its early form was something called an extensible of XML RPC and was standardized around 1999. So it is based on the Microsoft and Userland. From the XML RPC to SOAP, SOAP 1.1 was submitted to W3C in 2000. Later, SOAP 1.2 became a W3C recommendation in 2003. SOAP introduced a formal messaging envelope headers, fault tolerance constructs to forward to different transport binding beyond HTTP, such as the SMTP, and compatibility with the WS or the WS security, WS addressing, and etc. Rise of REST and web APIs as the web matured. Roy Fielding's or the representational state transfer architecture style, his 2000 doctoral thesis become influential. Traits resources use HTTP verbs such as the get, post, put, and delete, or the stateless interactions. Through his work is earlier, the wide adoption came later. Based on the Treville website, developers favored simplicity, lower overhead, JSON payloads, leveraging HTTP directly, caching, and status codes, rather than abstraction layers. Over time, RESTful APIs became the dominant pattern for web services. Many newer variants like GraphQL, gRPC, etc., and later emerged. So this is based on the dev website. How this evolution shaped today's landscape? The evolution from heavyweight, tightly coupled RPC middleware to lighter, resource HTTP based APIs influence modern service architectures, microservices, API first design, cloud native systems. Interoperability became more practical. Any system that can issue HTTPS requests and fires JSON or XML can consume services. The evolution also led to hybrid ecosystems. Enterprises still use SOAP in strongly regulated dominance, finance, telecom, or while most facing API are REST or JSON. For the tool, improve, automatic client stubs, API gateways, and API versioning documentation like in Swagger and OpenAPI, and etc. all built on the assumption of network services. For the question B, explain the significance of the web services in facilitating communication and data exchange between the disparate systems, and how do web services promote interoperability, scalability, and efficiency in contemporary computing environments. For the number one, facilitating in terms of communication and data exchange. For the web services provide a standardized interface for a system potentially built in a different language or on different platforms to talk to one another. Number two is they abstract underlying implementation, such as the consumer only cares about the construct or endpoint, not how the logic is implemented behind it. Data exchange is structured or the XML and JSON schema definitions, so the receiver can parse and interpret payloads meaningfully. In terms of the promoting interoperability, because the web services use open, platform agnostic protocols such as the HTTP, XML, and JSON, also in different systems like Java, .NET, and Node.js, Python can interoperate this function. Standards like WSD or for SOAP or Open API Swagger for REST provide machine-readable services descriptions, facilitating tool-assisted code generation. Web services enforce loose coupling, like the clients and services evolve independently as long as their interface or contract is preserved. In terms of the enabling scalability and efficiency, web services are stateless or at least designed to be, which helps horizontal scalability, which means requests can be handled by any instance. HTTP or REST can leverage built-in web infrastructure like caching, proxies, and load balancers to improve performance and reduce latency. Another one is asynchronous invocation and message queuing over web services or combining with the message brokers. Allow services to decouple and scale independently. Because web services allow components to be modular and distributed. Organizations can scale different parts of their system separately. For example, scaling the search service and independently of the user service. In the contemporary environment, cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and GCP expose almost all internal features: storage, compute, messaging via web services APIs. Microservices architectures rely heavily on inter-service APIs, often in REST or gRPC. Integration like payment gateways, social logins, and mapping services is usually via web services. Service ecosystems and marketplace like the Salesforce APIs or AWS APIs are all web service based. For the questions number for the question C, compare and contrast the different types of web services including the SOAP, REST, and XML RPC. What are the distinct features, advantage, and limitations of each type? Provide real-world examples to illustrate their practical applications. For the comparisons, we will start on the picture of the SOAP, REST, and XML and RPC. Number one is the paradigm. XML RPC or the remote procedure call can have the method call. For the SOAP, messaging and RPC like with envelope and headers. And for the rest, this is the resource oriented or the crude on resources. For the second one is the payload format. XML RPC or the XML is simple structured. When it comes to the SOAP, XML is rich, extensible, lots of verboseness. And lastly, the rest, which is flexible, like the JSON format, XML, and YAML. And for the picture of metadata or the headers, XML RPC is minimal, but in terms of SOAP, it is rich support for headers, namespace, and extensibility, and also the WS security. And lastly, for the rest, it is a limited metadata, like the HTTP headers and the status code. And for error handling, XML RPC is minimal. But in terms of SOAP, The rich support for headers and namespace extensibility, WS security, and limited in metadata. Like I said lately, the HTTP headers and status code. For the security purpose, XML RPC basic use the HTTP or the basic authentication like the sessions. But in terms of the SOAP, it is strong support by a web uh, WS security, WS trust, and etc. And also in terms of REST, it is used TLS, HTTPS, and the OAuth or for the Google services and the JWT or the JSON Web Tokens. And for the sixth feature, it is of use like the popularity. XML RPC they are using low, and for the SOAP they are using moderate, and lastly the rest which is high because it is for simplicity. And for the number seven, in terms of the use cases, the XML RPC, it is very simple RPC between the friendly systems. And for the SOAP, enterprise integration and legacy systems and high security. And lastly, for the rest, web APIs, microservices, mobile and cloud apps. What are the distinct features and advantage and limitations of this kind of process? For the XML RPC, it is simple to implement, minimal protocol overhead, and method call semantics familiar to the developers. Limited extensibility, lacks standard services description, lack builds in advanced features, security, and transactions. Older blogging APIs like the Meta Weblog API use XML RPC for posting blog enterprise. The next one is the SOAP. Strong standardization rich in metadata via WSDL, multiple transport support, and extensibility, like the headers and interceptors. Verbose XML message, stiff learning curve, and more overhead, complex tooling, and tight coupling to a schema. Many financial or enterprise web services SOAP-based banking APIs, legacy enterprise system integration. Also, SQL Azure Federation, many SOAP-based services in telecom. In terms of the rest, it is a simpler, lightweight, leverage HTML semantics like caching and status codes, often use JSON or the JavaScript object notation, and then it is to adopt better suit for web or mobile clients. It is less formal contracts metadata and less using open API, and it is weaker built-in standard for security and transactions, though you can layer those, but more ambiguous in design. No strict one way to design. Public APIs like Twitter API, GitHub API, Google Maps API, many SaaS services. For the real world example, a banking institution may expose a SOAP service that supports secure transactional money transfer with WS security, like the X.509 encryption. A weather services or the map tile server expose a REST API. For example, the GET method for weather APIs. And also the legacy blogging systems in early 2000s support posting via XML RPC like the WordPress XML RPC interface. For the question D, explore the role web services in enabling integration across various industries and domains. How do the businesses leverage web service to streamline operations, enhancing customer experience and data-driven innovation? Providing specific case studies or examples to support your discussion. For the role of the web services in industry integration and business use case, number one of factors is operations and back office integration. The companies integrate ERP, CRM, supply chain, and inventory systems via web services rather than building point-to-point custom connectors. For example, an e-commerce platform might call a supplier's inventory web service to check stock. Then, call a logistic provider's shipment device to arrange delivery. In the insurance domain, internal underwriting claims and risk services may communicate via APIs. The next one is enhancing customer experience and omni-channel access. Mobile apps, web front ends, IoT device all consume the same backend via web services, ensuring consistency and faster development. A bank mobile app uses the same APIs as its web app to fetch account balance or make transfers. Travel, like aggregators, call airline, hotel, or car rental, web services in real time to find availability and pricing. The next one, the SaaS providers open their functionality to third-party developers via API web services, giving rise to app marketplace, plugins, and extensions. Salesforce also allow external applications to interact with its core system via REST or SOAP APIs. Payment gateways, Stripe or PayPal expose APIs so other merchants can integrate payments into their apps. In terms of the driving innovations and new business models, web services make it possible to compose mashup, combining data functions from multiple providers into new services. A logic startup might combine like Google Maps API, traffic, live feed, and shipment service into a route optimization product. In healthcare, electronic health record or the EHR systems expose HL7 REST APIs to enable telehealth integrations, remote and monitoring, and analytics. According to the website of AWS, Shell integrated its security and data pipelines on WS to ingest, process, and analyze huge volumes of events or threat data. Web service APIs undergird the scalable architecture. While not a classic business-business service integration example, it is illustrate how large enterprise use web services APIs internally and across system to unify operations. In Amazon and AWS, it itself is a service platform offering compute, storage, messaging, and etc. Each service is exposed via REST, JSON, or SOAP style APIs. Third parties build on top of AWS APIs to deliver innovation. For the question E, analyze the challenge and emerging trends in the realm of web services. How are factors such as security, performance, and evolving technology standards shaping the future of web service development? And also discuss the potential strategies and best practices for overcoming this challenge and harnessing of the full potential of web services. For the best one is the challenge in terms of these web services. Number one is the security and trust. Protecting data in transit and at rest, like for example the TLS, the SSL, and encryption. Also the authentication, authorization, and the threats like injection, DOS, and man in the middle or replay attacks. According to the site of the Cornell University, many services depend on the DNS, certificate authorities, CDNs, failures of those can break web services globally. Vulnerabilities in client publish sanitation like the regex base and DOS and RediOS have been exposed in real-world services. Number two is the performance, latency, and scalability. As the services scale, network latency and throughput become limiting factor. Chattiness or the many small calls can degrade performance. Serialization or deserialization costs, especially for XML, can be high. And also the bottlenecks in downstream services can cascade. Number three is the versioning, evolution, and compatibility. As API evolve, maintaining compatibility for existing clients is a challenge. Deprecation strategies, backward compatibility, and semantic versioning become essential. For the number four, reliability, fault tolerance, and resilience. Distributed systems must handle intermittent failures, partial outage, retrace, and circuit breakers and timeouts. For the number 4, reliability and fault tolerance resilience. Services dependencies can introduce fragility as in the DNS and DDoS, incident implicating many services. Once again, this is from the Cornell University. For the number 5, standard fragmentation and complexity. Numerous extension in SOAP can lead to complexity and interoperability issues. In REST, conventions vary naming, error formats, pagination, and filtering, so consumer must handle variability. For the number 6 is emerging protocols and competing models. So gRPC with HTTP2 binary format and streaming for gaining traction in microservices. GraphQL allow clients to query only needed data. And for the event-driven, APIs, webhooks, and messaging complement request and response APIs. API federation like the backend for front-end patterns, and what will be the trend for this APIs? gRPC, protocol buffers, the HTTP or the HTTP3 for lower latency, bidirectional streaming, and efficient binary transport. Zero trust architectures and APIs access, fine grained identity, and access control. API gateways, services, meshes, like for example, the Istio to manage cross-cutting concerns, routing, security, observability, rate limiting. Also, serverless and functions as service or the fast, exposing business logic via lightweight web service endpoints. API monetization, API marketplace, treating APIs as product. And also the machine learning and AI endpoints as services, exposing prediction inference endpoints as web services. For the strategies and best practices, design APIs truthfully using standard like Open API, defined versioning strategies, consistent patterns, clear error handling, emphasize security for day one, TLS everywhere authentication authorization, input validation, and rate limiting. Also, the audit logging. Use API gateways, service, mesh, or uniform enforcement of the policy, like the security, routing, and monitoring. Another strategy is adopt resilience pattern, retries with exponential backup, circuit breaker, bulkheads, and fallback mechanisms. And also, it minimizes the chattiness design, coarse grain operations, consider combining multiple operations in one call, or support batch endpoints. And also, it can be implement observability, logging, tracing, metrics across services calls to detect performance or failure issues. Also, the test performance and scale early, load testing, benchmarking are essential, especially in microservices environment. Plan for deprecation and backward compatibility, clears document changes, support all clients during transitions, keep payloads efficient, use JSON or even binary formats or protocol buffers for avoid excessive metadata. Stay current with the standard tools like the Adopt HTTP2 or HTTP3. It also evaluate the emerging protocols. Thank you very much for the listen. That's all my presentation.